Hi, welcome to another episode of This is Australia. And this episode we're bringing it to you from a place called Northbridge. Northbridge is not on the south of the bridge or east, not even west, but it's on the north of the bridge. That's why it's called Northbridge. So not south, not east, not west. Easy. And then again, it's not on the north of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, but on the north of this sandstone suspension bridge built in 1892. Now, Northbridge is a great suburb and it has a very nice shopping centre and it has a lot of specialty shops, plus very nice cafes and restaurants. Northbridge, like other suburbs of Sydney, have neighbourhoods with individual houses built on large plots and huge footpaths. You notice here in many Sydney suburbs, the footpaths are all grassed. But why am I here? This is a construction site. We are going to talk about construction in Australia and what's the difference between Australia and other places in the world. Well, I have been around the world in many places, in Europe especially, and what we do here in Australia, we do it really well. And one thing that we are very good at it is safety. And I'm proud to be Australian and talk about construction and safety in construction. We are number one. Like many other things here in Australia, we're number one. Construction is also one of them. What are we doing here on this job? Basically, we're making this space much bigger because everybody now wants to just get the spaces bigger. But how do you have to do it without worrying the whole thing falling onto you? We're going to show you in a minute. But before we go into that, let's have a look at some of these videos because some things that we don't do it 100% because people, they don't use licensed builders. Like here, for example, there's a licensed builder and they do the job right. Now, let's have a look at this. If you want a job done, you can get these guys to do it. But if you pay peanuts, what do you get? These guys. I have a better idea. What about if we get Rocco? Have a look at the last job that Rocco did. Sorry, I can't help myself. I'm just laughing with my own jokes. Why do you think this is weird? Anyway, I have to wear this. See, something could fall on you. You have to wear this. Okay, there's no one here on site today. We're just on our own, so there's no work happening. Everything it's been looked after, so there's no danger for me being here. So we looked at that, so don't worry. Be happy. Anyway, let's have a look at this now. But I think it's better if we ask an expert because, you know, we're only just a licensed builder. What do we know? So there is actually an expert and her name is Seri Barba. Yeah, she's actually, they call her the Queen of Renovation. Yes, and she's actually made a lot of money. She's very rich because she always does a lot of jobs on a very low budget. She's very good actually, but I thought we'd just talk to her about safety. Let's see what she does about her own safety on her own sites.
This week I'm going to talk to you about site safety and how to take necessary precautions to prevent this sort of thing happening. Now, safety is absolute paramount on site.
Yeah. Okay, Seri, but yeah, I've got a problem. I can't say I say Seri because I have a problem like sip and sip. I mean, that's a sip. And that's a sip for me. It's very difficult for me. They said to me I shouldn't be here, you know, because I can't say the sip and the sip. I cannot say Seri, but that's a French name. So what about Montserrat? Montserrat, that's a French name. And basically we can talk in French, so I can say Seri without having a problem. And they can say to me, your accent is very bad. This is a French accent, Seri. Okay. Now, Sari, let's have a look. You know, okay, we want to demolish this, but, you know, isn't it better if we actually, instead of the salvo, we can use something else? Have a look at this. shovel. It's actually for, just shoveling. Not for the monster. Anyway, Montserrat, I think it's important that you wear this helmet sometimes because, it's very dangerous.
Whoopsie! I almost just smashed Mal on the head. Could have knocked some sense into him.
Make sure everybody has to keep away from Sari. Was they working around her? Oh my God, she nearly killed him. Okay, and this.
Well, 3 rooms, a tight budget and lots of elbow grease. That is the challenge for Australia's renovation queen, Cherie Barber. And the results are in.
Don't want a render on my back.
And now this piece of advice. Okay, you have a brand new floor. Okay, Cherie, brand new floor, and we got to be careful. Okay, because we make sure that we don't scratch it.
Now, in your renovation project, you've just come through and you've laid brand new timber floorboards. Fantastic.
Okay, what about the ladder? Make sure you can't put the ladder on the brand new floor because you might scratch it. You have to protect it. Now, what about this? Look at this. What, nothing's wrong? What do you mean nothing's wrong? Have another look. Yeah? Did you see it? The scaffolding. Come on. Here in Australia, we do things right. Okay, basically scaffolding is very important. We have proper scaffolding that we use that is made for that, either aluminium for smaller jobs or the steel scaffolding that goes all around the big sites. Now, when you put the scaffold, you have to make sure that the people they're working on are protected. First of all, we don't use timbers like this one. One is rotten, the other one is split. And look at it, there's no handrail around it for protection. There's not a kickboard. Those things are very, very important. That's how we have accidents, especially on residential sites, because people are not very careful. And you can't really put that on television, sorry, but it's very bad when people see you doing this kind of thing and they try to imitate you because you're very good in making money, but you can't make money by cutting corners. Okay? It's not very good. Now look at this one.
Hey renovators, it's Cherie from Renovating for Profit. You probably think I'm at the rubbish tip right now, but I'm not. I'm actually on my own site, and I'm ashamed to say this is my site.
Okay, it's her own house she's doing up, one of the 26 or something that she did, and that's her own rubbish, as she said. Okay.
The front of the house here looks like a rubbish tip. This could instigate neighbours to actually ring the council and say, what's going on here?
You know what I mean? You don't do that. I'll show you in a minute what we do about our rubbish. And on a job like this, it's not just about making sure that everything is done properly. It's also what we do about recycling. We saw it in Newtown, where we recycled everything. Nothing was thrown to the tip. And then here, on this job, again here, have a look at these images now. The kitchen, actually we gave it away. It wasn't a very good kitchen. Someone wanted to put it in a little garage. We gave it away. We didn't throw it away. So they try to do the same thing, and a lot of other people that you go on television and throwing everything away. Please try to do the right thing. Why do you throw it in the bin if you can actually reuse it? I mean, it's amazing. We have all these wonderful materials here. Look at our bricks. We've used some of our bricks here, and the rest of them, we just save them, we clean them, and we take them to another job. We recycle and reuse. I mean, look at the rubbish that we couldn't get rid of. We took them down to Metropolitan. Look at that. Of course, that's how you do it. You don't throw things away. Please, guys, show on television something that is better than just that. Okay, thank you. Merci. Now, look at this one. Can I get this out? I just want to pull my hair out. Can I? Hey, where's anybody home? Sorry, but please don't do the same. Don't move trees like this. There's a lot of dangers in there. You're going out on the street with a stupid ute and you're pulling. What if the rope breaks? It's not the right way to pull a tree. Either if you do it by hand, they're only little trees. And you know what? If you dig around and just get the soil out, you can actually reuse it. But you don't use the truck to pull a tree out. La Christe Apostol. I'm sorry. That's, yeah. And then this. Kickboxing, that's called demolition. Sorry, kickboxing. You're using your hands and you're kicking the toilets to get them out, huh? That's pretty good, isn't it? Oh, sorry, oh, mon sorry, please try to be a little bit more safe. If you like me to come around show you what safety is, before you put it on television, I can show you how to do it. Sorry, I'm not an expert, I come from a village, what do I know? But some things like this, I'll learn from these guys here. Now look at this construction. One of the things you have to be very careful when you're demolishing a wall is what it's above and how you're going to support it. Now, there's a lot of walls above it, there's a roof, there's a lot of things you have to be careful. So an engineer has to come and have a look at it and will tell you exactly what to do. What sort of beam we're going to use. How many props we're going to use. Exactly. It all comes from an engineer. Don't touch it if you don't know what you're doing. Very, very important. You might lose the whole house. Oh, sorry, but I can't help it. I have to tell these people how to do it properly. Anyway, back in the old days, we used to have what we call the needles. We had to put one line of macro props on the other one side, one on the other, and the beam was very difficult to go in. But look at this. This is Australia. I tell you, we're so good. We're incredible. Look at this. They call it the strong boy. That's not a boy, that's a man. Look how much weight he's holding. I think that these jobs were done by these guys, and they employed these guys, and then they subbed this guy to do it. Incredible, isn't it? Now, I'm just here because I want to show you this. These are actually some of the timbers we got out of the building here, and they go into the tip. If it was someone else.
Literally just go like that with everything.
Look at this beautiful piece of Oregon. Oregon is not actually Australian timber, it's imported. This is very old, it's from the 1930s. The beautiful piece of timber. This one here, once it's nailed and cleaned with some of the other pieces that we have, they can make a beautiful table. And we're going to make a table for the owner of this property here, believe it or not. So you can have a table, an outside table, under his veranda because it's Oregon, it's softwood. And it will be out of timbers, out of his own house. So we don't throw anything away. Now, there's a lot of things you can do with old timbers, but let's talk to an expert. Let's have a look at this. I have with me now Merv. Now Merv is an expert. He's been working with timbers for over 40 years. Is that right, Merv?
That's correct.
We are trying to tell people that we can do a lot of things with these wonderful timbers. I mean, the new timbers are not as good as this. Is that correct?
No, they're not. No.
Because the trees are new. Is that right?
There's a lot of things. This is seasoned. It's recycled for a reason. It's got character, it's got charm, it's got feature. It's stable. Yeah. There is a lot of labour goes into it, but the end result is something money can't buy.
So you really cannot beat the recycled timbers?
Not for looks, I don't think.
Okay, right. Now, what you're doing here, basically, you're taking some of this is demolition timber, is that right?
That's correct.
Which normally goes to the tip.
This would go to the tip, yeah.
Okay, and you salvage it from the tip, and you make, what's this?
This is going to become tables for restaurants, 700 by 700. But they want something that money, you just can't buy off the shelf. They want something personal. Okay. It's got to be de-nailed. If we hit a nail with a saw, the saw's had it.
Actually, I can see how it fits together very close. And
the reason for that
you can see, look at this.
It's been...
Hang on, that's not the same with that.
No. I've
what
already
do you do?
edged these.
Oh, wait.
I've already edged them. The reason being, when these get joined together, they must be perfect. I can't have a gap.
That's how there's no gaps.
Yeah. So I edge it, then it's got to go and get dressed.
Okay, so basically you just put it through this machine here.
This one?
Whew. That's a huge machine to just put a little timber there.
Well, yeah, but it does it very well. It edges it perfectly.
Okay, and then after basically you put it in that, you just put it next to each other, and then what you do then?
No, you'll notice that some are higher than the others, so it's got to go through a dresser. We've got to make it uniform.
What do you call it?
A dresser machine. So
do you make dresses with it?
No. No, it's a term in the timber industry for what we do. We dress it, which means we shave them all to a consistent size.
So that's the one side?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other side we tend to just take 1 mil off. There's a reason for that. They need to see some of the contours, features, whatever. So we do 1 mil off at the top, and then we dress it to 42 finish overall.
So now we can see some of the tables that Merv made earlier.
Yeah, we can make tables to any size, any specification for the customer.
Okay, now we can see that the one end, for example, it's the finish that the customer wants, which is the rougher finish. And then on the other side, it looks like new.
It does look like new because it's come out of bigger size timber, but it's whatever feature the customer wants. They dictate what they're after. 9 times out of 10, they want the rougher look with the feature.
Now, hardwood, it's an Australian timber. Oregon, it's American, isn't it?
It's American, yes. Hardwood is very labour intensive and it's very hard on your machinery, but it's a different look.
Because it's hardwood, yes, it's hard on your...
There's a reason why they call it hardwood.
It's hard work.
It's hard everything. And your equipment suffers because of it, but it is a different look.
Yes, I think that in a way, I'm not sure which one I like the best. Both timbers, they are different and they're both lovely when they're finished. You only just made the top there. You can't use that unless you're Japanese. Can you just put the legs as well?
You can do, yeah. If someone's going to do a bathroom or, say, a new kitchen and it meets a certain size, they'll come to us, I'll make it, then their builder will then go and fit it.
Okay, now, here, this is a little sample we made earlier, and now you can see the one side that what's happening here. That's the side that you put on the planer to take out to make it straight.
This is an offcut of what we're doing here, basically. This is 3 pieces that have been glued together and biscuited. Now, what happens?
Biscuit? What do you mean?
A biscuit is a piece of wood that goes in sideways.
Biscuit is very, 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 very fine. You will break.
It's not a food. It's made from
biscuit.
timber.
It's not, okay, it's a different biscuit.
Yes, it's got a different use in this instance. This is what holds the timber together. Okay. So we glue it and we biscuit it.
So after the biscuit goes with the dressing or after the dressing?
No, you do the biscuit at the start. That's what holds it together. Then you sand it. That's the top piece.
Yep.
That's the bottom piece.
Okay.
Now, if the person wants it the other way around, no problem whatsoever. There's a lot of finishes available. Wire brushing is another finish.
Wire brushing, yep.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a look at that in another episode. You can show us how we do the wire brushing and what that finish as well. And another finish that we also, I will show you another time, is the finish where we actually apply some paint to it. All different paints, you can choose the color that you want. And then what happens, we paint this and the paint stays in the grooves. And once we sand it, you can still see the paint right through the timber and right through the grooves. And sometimes we get these amazing marks from the sawmill, and it stays in that, and it's really nice.
That's correct, but you're talking similar to a lime finish.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and ideally suited for Oregon because Oregon comes with rings. So there's a soft and a dark, a harder. So when you do that, it does highlight the lines.
Okay. And what's the rings again?
The rings are from the tree itself.
Okay.
As
So
the tree grows, each year it gets another ring around it.
we found out today what dressing means, what a biscuit is, and now we also find what a ring is, but that's in the tree language.
It is. It's all to do with timber.
Merv, thank you very much. That was very, very nice of you showing us around and showing us your amazing work. Remember, have a look at the website, have a look at all the different finishes, and then give us a call or email us and come around and have a look. We can make amazing stuff for walls, for floors, for furniture, everything, isn't it?
Any application that timber is used, we can do something with it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Here you can see an example of what happens when we split these timbers in half. These timbers here, they're only about 20 mil thick now, and they will make beautiful wall finishes. And you can see how on the one side, it's all nice and new, looks like new. So you can have this kind of finish, but the ideal one, of course, is this one here, which is the Sabi-Sig look, which is the used look. This is about 100 years old, this Oregon here. And this can be finished in any way you like. It could just be painted. It could be even whitewashed. You can see this one here that it has been actually gone through the plane. And you see that finish over there. This is nice and smooth now. There's no splinters. And it could be used for anything, including tables. This is Australia. This is what we do. We don't throw stuff away. Do we? Sorry, what did you say?
Literally just go like that with everything.
Oh, no, no, oh, don't you... Sorry, guys. Now, I have to show you an amazing technique that we use in this particular building here, because a lot of these bricks are made out of lime and mortar. We saw it on an episode before in Newtown, the old convex sandstocks, how we can clean the lime and mortar. Why we clean this so easily? Because, of course, it's made out of lime. What is lime? Of course, this is lime. You see this dust? That's lime. Now, what happens? In this particular house, we had to just fill in a little opening. We toothed it out, as you can see now, and then we had to fill it in. But you can't go there and just use just mortar like we do today, because the lime and mortar on the other side, it's very soft. And if you do that very strong, you might have problems, you might have a crack. You have to just use the same technique that they used back then. And that's what we did. By using lime again, very, very little cement, very little cement. It's very important that you just do exactly what they did back in those days. But lime, an amazing product. It's used all over the world still today, but not just for this. They use it for paint. I mean, look at these trees. Why they paint them like that? And you know, lime, it was used back from the ancient times. Egyptians and Persians, Romans and Greeks, everybody used lime. Can you imagine those statues that we have everywhere in the museums, like the Parthenon statues, they were all painted. Can you believe that? The Acropolis, all the monuments in Egypt, in Rome, everywhere, everything was painted. And they were using these amazing products. Incredible technique, and it's the healthiest and the best paint you can have. But we're going to go into that in another episode, and how wonderful lime is. We're going to talk to some experts in the industry that they're still using lime today for their products. Incredible stuff. I love it. So basically, this is the kitchen that we took out of this building here. Have a look at this. There's nothing wrong with that. We just gave it away, but there's nothing wrong with that. Someone's having a great kitchen in their little garage that they can use, that they're going to turn into a little flat for themselves. And of course, the bricks. Look at this. Look at that. That's a lime and mortar brick that I was telling you about. Look how easy that comes out. If you can scratch it with your nail, that means it's lime and mortar. Okay? And we can reuse this on another job. These are the leftovers, and we're going to use them on the other job. Now, these ones here that they're broken, of course, they're going to go for recycling done at Metropolitan Demolitions. And the dishwasher, we sold the dishwasher. Can you believe it? Of course, this is working. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a Lex. And someone from Northbridge actually bought it. $100. $100 is better than nothing. Better than going to the tip. I think that's it. But next week, oh my God, what do we got next week? Have you seen all this amazing stuff with the lasers that happen all the time around us, including New Year's Eve in the Opera House, you know, all this exciting lighting and laser? Can you believe that the guy that invented this is an Australian? Of course, God tells. It could be anything else. Yes, we're top, aren't we? Number one. Everything we do, we're number one. I love it. I love it. Now, this guy is going to talk to us next week. He's going to tell us how he started. You just wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Out of recycling. Yes. No, sorry, reuse. But we'll have a look at that next week. This amazing guy is behind this beautiful laser works. And of course, don't forget our websites. I will remember them both now very, very quickly. Made in this is Australia.tv and metroreusables.com.au, and in there you will find all these wonderful things that we're talking about. And don't forget, anything you need to advertise, use Gumtree. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just telling you, it's the best. We tried everything. Construction, sales, machines for you, eBay, everything you could imagine. The best, Gumtree. This is where we sell all our stuff from and give away our stuff. So Gumtree is the best. So try them. Trust me. Anything else? Oh, time's gone. Oh, sorry. We'll have to go. See you next week.